I'll be like I was supposed to take the month off, but I found some time. So this is a request from someone via email. So this is Billie Eilish's poem. This poem, this picture, the link, the source is from 17 magazine, which is an online magazine, and I have linked that link in the description below. So very talented, got success at a very early age, but I see some self-destructive, uh, self-destruction on her poem, like similar to a bit like Britney Spears. So though we know Britney Spears' case is quite different, whether everything with her parents using her and everything, or was it her dad? But it's a bit different. Maybe that exactly won't happen with her, but we see some signs. So here we see that the fate line is starting from this part, like from near the lifeline. So that means that the parents are also in the artistic field, or the siblings are also in the artistic field, which is true for her as well. And then we see that one fate line is coming here and taking over its place. Though this is in, if we measure it in the, it will be in the late 20s, but we can't exactly measure stuff. So, but I would say, in my opinion, it's the late 20s or early 30s where there will be a sudden change, like a sudden breakaway from the parent. So that was, I was saying that it's not necessary that that thing, exactly what's happening to Britney will be happening to her, but it's kind of like the case, because if you see here, if this is with the parents, so usually everything with the parents is fine. But here it also happens that because her, for her, she's very rebellious. For Britney Spears, at her age, at if we see the same age, her at this age, Britney Spears at her age, we will see differences that she was a bit more naive, and this woman is more self-destructive, like she's more rebellious. So there we see she was maybe willingly following the parents, but here we see that she's rebelling, like slowly rebelling. Now we don't know who is right. We'll have to look at every parent's poem, every brother's poem. That will be a long journey. But I'm just saying that this poem is more rebellious, and maybe that's in her music as well. That's why, because there's talent, so there's talent in rebellion as well. So there's that as well, and that we also see in the little finger. If we see, it is downcast. So what happens basically, that the person has all advantages of life, right? Rich parents, artistic parents, everything. But the thing is that this kind of sometimes means self-destruction. I've seen it on many bombs. Like I've seen many variations of this. If the little finger is downcast, so some type of bad luck happens, like with Shah Rukh Khan, it happened that parents died, everything, he struggled. But here we see another variation. So everything has many meanings. So we have to apply that to the biography of the person. We also see the headline coming from a dangerous place. Now, another thing for rebelliousness, and also in her advantage, are the three mounts. Now, the moon mount is developed. This is the moon mount. Sorry, I forgot to draw over it. And then we see the Venus mount is developed, and Jupiter. Now, all these point towards imagination, passion, and ambition. And also, this would be honor, legacies, everything. So we see legacy meaning parents, siblings, passion meaning what she puts into her music, and the moon mount, which means creativity, right? But this can also lead to an overdevelopment. We have to see that the passion mount, Venus mount, is very overdeveloped, and even the inner Mars is taking a lot of space. Here we see. So when these mounts are combined, and when the headline is coming from there, this can also mean a path towards self-destruction, meaning that too much aggressiveness. Now, if she's using that aggressiveness positively, meaning in her music, etc., that's fine. But due to, because social media also has this downside, meaning that she could misinterpret something if someone says that, and she could react to it in a rebellious way. So there's a lot of, I would say, she has also her positive qualities, but then those can be equally negative. So as I said, her rebelliousness is her greatest asset and her greatest advantage. But I think overall she will win in the end, because as we see that when the new fate line is starting, so this means that the person will better themselves than before. They will move ahead. And then we see here that there are two lines here. These are rising from the fate line. Here we see sorry, there are two lines rising from the from the fate line. Sorry, sun line. So here we see that when it rises from the fate line at this point in the early 30s, we see that here her success is more in the lines. Even though I would say she is still self-made due to her talent, this other fate line success is showing that she's breaking away. So she's breaking away entirely and creating a new image for herself, and then she is getting even more success. And then we see from the headline itself, there is a sun line, and this final sun line is the most powerful. If you see, it ends in the fork, which means that basically she will be honored in two fields. That could be she maybe takes up acting as well. So I see a lot of multi-talent on her poem. We also see two lions rising from the headline. So there's as well. So she will be known for two things, two or even more things, not for just her singing. And then we see that the partial simian line is also there. Here is a heart line, and it is meeting with the headline here. So we see a partial simian line. So that also, and we also see when it is, like if we see it is moving away in the early 30s, meaning it's joined till the early 30s, and then it moves away till the early 30s. So here we were seeing that the late 20s, early 30s. So here we also see late 20s, early 30s. So we see a very drastic, like something big will happen. It, I won't say it would be entirely negative, but it will be shocking, and then it will change her life completely. Like her persona, like how we perceive her, that will also change. It can be positive, it can be negative. But as the sun lines are going upwards, it could make her infamous, it could make her famous. We'll just have to wait and see. And then we see that the partial girdle Venus is also there. I won't say it's partial, it's like fully developed, but this also gives extra sensitiveness. So that also adds to the rebellious feature. So even if you see anyone who gets fame young, they like if you see the Home Alone kid, everyone has different. Like some people really handle it well. Some people, when they get famous young, they really are handling it well, but they have a very different childhood. So we don't know because we ourselves are maybe not that famous as kids, or we don't get that much early success. But that success can also lead to self-destruction. So we have to see both point of views. And we also see an attachment line here, which is very late. So this means that in late in life, she could get attached to someone. It doesn't necessarily mean that she will marry late, because this just does show her 40s, but it could mean she might get attached to her pet, a friend, etc. So it just shows attachment. But I do see that there will be many relationships, and it could also mean that maybe the relationship which will come in the late 20s, early 30s, maybe that will move her away from the parents. Much like, not maybe similar to the Kevin, I think it was Federer line, the Britney Spears husband. So we do see some similarities, but overall, in on both cases, Britney Spears and her, very very talented people, and only the talent has led her so far. That we have to agree with. So this was Billie Eilish's poem reading. I hope who requested this via email and also send me this poem picture with this source. I hope they're really satisfied with this reading, and I hope you like this reading too. Thank you so much. Goodbye.